Good morning, traders. This is Michael coming to you from GE GammaEdge on Friday, October 11th. Happy Friday. We're going to do our morning strategy and briefing session. We're going to jump right into the MTM market trend model. We have seen some short-term bullish look with the tag combos. The bolded white CT, which is our 1 to 3 day trend, is trying to stay above the moving averages. Obviously, the moving averages 3 to 5 day trend. We like to see these continue to stay in the proper order and stacked. Caveat is the longer term bearish trend continues to expand to the downside, the red below the cyan. This is our colored ribbon. Obviously, this is a longer term trend of the market. So we are prone to failure here as we move up. So what we'd like to see is the CT continue up, go through the ribbon, and then start emerging on the other side through the cyan, and then start living above the cyan and above the colored ribbon. That would change this to a compression type state like you've kind of seen here. And then it would start to pull the red above the cyan into a positive state. And then we'd start turning the tag combos back on to enter P2P trades. So as of now, cautiously optimistic on the bullish side. I wrote that in my single stock game plan. Check that out. But again, end of day, we saw some weakness come in towards the end of the day. So really, this is going to be extremely important to stay above the moving averages as we continue on to maintain this bullishness. The full complex, SPXP, all expiries turn on. We're call dominated. Transition wise is 5720 to 5760. Then we closed above the transition, so that is a bullish look, and obviously we're call dominated. We did see the expected move at 0.45%, so a slight decrease in volatility there. So watch how that plays out. Total OI for the complex here is pretty large, obviously. But these numbers, PGEX and CY to the upside 5,800, obviously that's the target there. And then to the downside, seeing this 5,700 pullback. Again, we've talked about that area multiple times in the past few weeks. So any sort of weakness down below 5,750, I'd look for 5,725 and then 5,700. Staying above 5,775 is important, and the transition to level to have an opportunity to move up towards 5,800. We'll talk about the 0DT in just a minute. All right, delta balance, we see right-hand plane for today slightly weak, so that's OTM call speculation decreasing. So we'll watch that for today. That just means that the opportunity to move significantly higher may be dampened, so we'll see how that happens or see what that looks like. Obviously, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, we continue with the strong bull. We notice the left-hand plane changes to weak bull. That's the in-the-money calls below us. But we like to see that right-hand plane continue with the strong bull. That's the OTM call speculation. That's really what helps us drive the bus to the upside. And then the left-hand plane is what you want to see any demand on the pullbacks into those lower key gamma delta levels to get involved on the market on the long side. So again, looks structurally strong heading on out to Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of next week. Just a slight weakness in the right-hand plane into today. That was SPY. SPX, right-hand plane, same structure, weak bear, and then we look bullish on out all of next week. So a bullish looking structure on the delta balance. We'll see if that maintains and continues. Staying above zero or moving and staying above zero is extremely important. And then the delta balance pegged at 1 gives us that bullish look, right-hand plane, left-hand plane, opportunity to move higher in the market. GEX ratio, we saw that nice drop, pull back towards 1.2, associated pullback in the overall market with price action. And then we now jump right back higher following price action, which is good. You want to see this continue. We would like to see the GEX ratio actually make newer highs. As price is making newer highs, that tells us short-dated calls are swamping the puts and continuing with that OTM call speculation to the upside. So we'll continue to watch this day over day. The SPXP net stat noting that we are in the money calls on the left-hand plane, in the money puts on the right-hand plane. We call that the locked horn that Paul discussed. The chances of moving above 5,800 is decreased just because we do not have a significant amount of OTM call speculation. Now, if you're an intraday 0DT trader, we'll watch the vol-m command for the centroids to both have positive slopes and OTM call speculation above 5,800. Which gives us the opportunity to possibly move above there. But if the net stat remains locked horned with ITM calls left-hand plane, ITM puts right-hand plane, then we're anticipating not to move above 5,800. And then any pullback you see at 5,775 or 5,750 As long as we maintain those in the money calls below us and not a significant downturn in MTM or vol M, then we'd look to get involved on the long side that we'll discuss here in a minute. The 0DTE call dominated. Drunken Sailor range 5745 to 5800, transition very narrow at 5760 to 5765, which is unambiguous, which is great. If we have any pullback, that's where I'd be looking to get involved on the long side. 5750 would maybe be a better opportunity for a sweep under the transition. If we get below 5750 and 5745 and continue to stay there for a little while, you may see some more weakness down towards 5725. You see that negative net delta there, but we do have significant amounts of in the money calls below us, as we talked about on the delta balance and the net stat command. Again, in the money puts 5800, PGEX, COI. That might be the cap on the price to the upside, unless we see significant OTM call speculation via vol M and net stat throughout the day. +1 DTE looks strong, call dominated, which is good. Net stat command, same. We do transition to in the money calls, OTM calls for Monday. So that's a little bit more bullish, possible upside structure look. And we see in the money calls above 5800, or sorry, OTM calls above 5800 up towards 5840, which is good. 5825, 5840. So as long as this structure maintains for Monday, possibility of moving above 5800 could be a possibility. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to the SPX chart for today. All right, here's our if-thens for today, 5745 Drunken Sailor range to 5800, as we discussed. I've drawn these arrows so we can kind of watch our if-thens above 5800, target 5825, 5775. If we reject at 5800, we might see some sort of pullback to 5775. 5745, maybe a pullback area, zero gex, p-trans, all lined up there, opportunistic area for demand to come in there. As long as we see MTM maintained and vol M, this is where I'd be looking to get involved on the long side, with the caveat of being within the Drunken Sailor range. So this may be choppy, but opportunistic long at 5745 up towards 5775. Below 5745, 5750, looking at the MTM and the overall vol M. If we see more weakness, I'd look at 5725, which we discussed, some negative net deltas down towards that level. And then obviously below that, 5700, which is that main large round Livermore number that we talked about. So we'll watch this throughout the day. I'd anticipate, at least on where we're going to open, so 5780 is anticipated open. Sorry about that. So if we open at 5780, be looking for a quick little pullback, maybe towards 5775 after the opening range. If this holds, an opportunity to get involved for a move back up towards 5800. And then obviously if we get below 5775 and continue to stay there, and we look to see if we have some profit taking, then I'd look for a pullback down towards 5775 and 5745. So, all right, hopefully that helps. We'll be around at least this morning, and we'll go back and discuss a couple of questions we had. So let's make it a great day. Thanks.